What resides in limbo besides total darkness? The absence of the light of the divine realm. And what makes it so traumatic and keeping you in constant fear until you are rescued out of limbo? Well, guess what? It's not pretty. Sadly, numerous negatively deprived evil entities reside in limbo, such as the fallen angels themselves, which are spirit meddlers, lost soul spirits, which are ghosts, dead human beings, both good and evil, hybrid lost soul spirits, which are evil spirits or humans who have joined forces with the lost fallen angels, the spirit meddlers, etc. Insane. Not a cool place. You never want to end up there. And it's becoming a problem. Creator says it's becoming a very serious problem, and they're getting more people because Creator says 1/3, 1 in 3 people upon death end up in limbo. And just look at how screwed up the thinking and the way life is today, with a lot of belief systems and things going wrong around the world, and the evil and the negative things happening. No wonder they're ending up in limbo. You know, their thought processes are totally out of divine alignment. Now we're going to talk about the fallen angels. This is some of the brief history that Creator has shared with us. Long before Earth was created, a band of archangels and angels in heaven became corrupted with the ability to choose to do good or evil, allowable in our free will zone. Okay, now you're seeing why they did things that they did, because they could. As their high egos became so grandiose, they chose to rebel against God Creator in their darkened thoughts of power to become godlike themselves. One archangel known as Lucy, and I'm only going to say his name once in this presentation, and that is Lucifer, God's original right-hand man, the highest archangel that was in heaven at that time. And I have given him the nickname of Lucy, and I feel comfortable referring to him as that. And so yeah, I give him the nickname. I don't like giving him power by saying his actual name. Any power that he may already possess. Lucy became quite popular among the other archangels and other ranks below him, as he was doing quite well at his work for the divine realm in heaven at that time. When then the others asked Creator, the other archangels came to Creator and said, asked if Lucy could be granted an even higher status or rank of sorts from his many wondrous achievements. And they actually came to Creator and said, could he, hey, Lucy's been doing pretty good up here. Why don't we give him something else? And Creator did not comment when the other archangels and angels asked him this. Creator did not comment. He simply allowed. Because a free will zone galaxy, the only one ever made in existence, ever, in the history of the universe, Creator tells us he simply allows because it's a free will zone. As per his ruling law of his free will galaxy. The fallen angels continued, gaining an even greater ego for his deeds alone, for his deeds done. I'm referring to Lucy, and the appreciation of his peers. Lucy then demanded more power under his higher command, and in doing so began to fall from goodness, falling out of divine alignment, slipping further and further from the light of the divine into darkness with all the negativity therein. Lucy, along with many, I say that, other archangels and angels that aligned with Lucy at that time, because it's a free will zone. They could do that. They could make that choice. Creator simply allows. Were then casted out of heaven and fell, so to speak, from the holy light of the divine realm into the total darkness of the lower astral plane of limbo, later referred to as hell. The fallen angels, fallen ones, then became referred to by Creator as the spirit meddlers, which still reside there in limbo to this very day. Yep, that's nuts. The dark spirit meddlers, otherwise known as spirit meddlers, the fallen angels, the fallen ones, demons, devils, dark, evil, demonic spirits, entities. In the Islamic belief, there are the jinn or the genie, like the genie in the magic lamp, etc., etc. These are the evil ones. Creator tells us he refers to the fallen angels simply as spirit meddlers now, currently. This is what Creator calls the fallen angels, spirit meddlers. So as not to exalt them, as this is what they have truly become, as meddling dark spirits in our lives. And that's exactly the truth. And I see it every day. Now, me and my wife, when we watch TV, when we see all this evil and things around the world, there's meddling dark spirits about that are messing with us. The dark spirit meddlers continue. Currently, spirit meddlers abound around the world, and I mean tons. Not ones that have currently been fallen, but the original ones, according to my understanding, according to Creator, the original spirit meddlers that fell from the heavenly realm and were cast out, those are the ones that abound around the world and tend to congregate in areas. They tend to congregate in areas they can get an opportunity to attach themselves to a living human being, or even the deceased in limbo. Ouch. Though they acquire a more powerful supply source of divine life energy from living human beings the most. So these people, according to Creator, this means those people that are out there that did all these nasty things saying, I heard the voices in my head made me do it. Or subconsciously, when I would sleep, I'd wake up and I remembered these dreams I kept having over and over. There was something evil going on, or that was making me do something evil, or something was chasing me, something was harming me. I was fearful, Creator says it very well could be the spirit meddlers that have either attached to you or are congregating in an area that you hang out, and that they are around you and following you home or whatever, or have attached. So any place that can cause a releasing of emotional energy, and the energy I'm referring to is bad, negative, evil energy in people, and that may be out of divine alignment, then the spirit meddlers will gather, such as bars, nightclubs, any place selling or using drugs or alcohol, prisons, hospitals, police stations, cemeteries, etc., etc., to cause emotional upset, to feed off the release of their energy like a vampire. So, what is this saying? Why are bars and clubs, nightclubs, and places using drugs, selling drugs, alcohol, why are prisons, hospitals, police stations, cemeteries, etc., Why are these places frequented by the spirit meddlers? Because there's a lot of emotional release happening in those areas by living human beings. And they're feeding off that. That's why they're there. Because they're in the darkness of limbo, not much going on. They're not getting their fix from the divine realm and the heavenly light anymore from heaven. So they're in the dark. They got to get it somehow to survive, to continue surviving. That's what Creator tells us. They need to feed somehow. And how they do it, because they are so out of alignment, so out of divine alignment, so evil, so deprived, so negative, so dark in their thinking, they go to the places where they can get that energy that similarly coincides with their own. And where is that? Releasing of that negative emotional energy. You get people, they get drunk off their butt, and at nightclubs and bars and places selling and using drugs and alcohol. They get intoxicated. They get drugged out of their mind. And I'm not just talking about illegal drugs. I'm talking about all drugs, pharmaceutical drugs. And I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying all drugs, pharmaceutical drugs are a bad thing. Some of us need them to live and function and survive and, be free from pains or whatever, suffering, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I am saying what Creator's saying here, what he's hinting at is you want to use them in small portions where you're not getting so drugged out of your mind that you're not thinking for yourself, that you're doing things to harm others, to harm yourself, that are bringing in those negative thoughts in your head to bring about the coinciding with the similar and same of the spirit meddlers out there all around. Okay, that are seeing this as well, and they're seeing it like a bright white light or some bright thing, and they're going like insects to the light at nighttime, mosquitoes to the light, and they're just rushing to it and grabbing up anything they can to feed off of that. And so, of course, at prisons, you get people that are angry, they're cooped up, they're in a small little place. Some may not even be there under false pretenses, which is really sad. And some they're doing their time to, do their physical karma, I guess you could say, according to our current justice system. But there's a lot of pent-up anger and frustration and emotions. So they're going to be around there. I'm not saying they're going to get it on everybody, no. But, if you are thinking and negatively thinking out of divine alignment, and your energy is, I hate, anger, frustration, I want to kill or whatever, that is going to be in the alignment as well as the spirit meddlers. So keep that in mind. You risk bringing them on board. And we'll get into how that happens in a little bit. But hospitals also, no. Sorry, there's a cat trying to get in the room. Hospitals also have, think about all the releasing of emotional energy in hospitals. People go there because they're sick, they're suffering, they're in pain. And police stations, people going there because they've become victims, because there are perpetrators there. There's a lot of emotional energy. You get intoxicated people drugged on there. And I'm not saying the police are creating this. The police are doing their good service. Thank God they're there to help us. But, however, there is this energy there that accumulates and has been brought out. And so you have to be protected. You have to think good thoughts. Ask God to protect you, to not allow these spirit meddlers wandering about to enter, to get into your energy. And cemeteries. What happens at cemeteries? People bury their loved ones. There's a lot of emotion there. They're sad. They're screaming out in pain. Well, maybe not screaming out, but inside they're so distraught for losing their loved one. A lot of emotional upset there to feed on. So I'll leave it at that. Continue. The dark spirit meddlers further continue. Shockingly, Creator says 86% of all living human beings have one or more spirit meddler attached to them. Oh my goodness. That blew my mind. 86% of all living human beings today have spirit meddlers attached to them. So, it is not so difficult to believe that all the serious crimes, conflicts, turmoils, wars, etc., 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 that occur around the world every day, where that evil really comes from. All making sense now, isn't it? It does to me. The vast majority of evil negative thoughts, evil negative actions, evil negative deeds, etc., are caused by the spirit meddlers within them that are creating, that are helping to create this negative stuff to occur, egging them on, something that is telling them over and over and over again, maybe every day, maybe every hour, maybe every minute of the day, maybe every second. Do it, do it, do it, do it. You need a cigarette. Go smoke, go smoke. You got that, you want that alcohol. Drink it, drink it, drink it. Go kill another person. This is going on in our head with the spirit meddlers when they're attached. That's what Creator tells us. Not in that words, but that's what we've learned. That includes all evildoers, criminals, murderers, thieves, world leaders, most politicians, very abusive people, pedophiles, etc., etc., etc. Anything you could think of that is evil. So anyone doing anything very negative, harmful, and evil, and I'm referring here mostly as negative, very, very negative, and out of divine alignment, all have evil, negative spirits on board, attached to them. So how is that possible? How are they attaching? How are they getting inside us? Creator further tells us the following on false teachings made by spirit meddlers themselves, which may come as a surprise and absolute shock to me as well, but is in fact, according to Creator, the truth. Here it is. There is no hell. Creator said, there is no hell. There is no devil. There is no Satan. And there are no demons. Thank God. Thank God for that. Creator says, they are a metaphor only, and false teachings told to us by the spirit meddlers themselves over time. So we have no reason to fear them at all. There's no hell. There's no devil. There's no Satan. There's no demons. There are people out there that believe there are. I knew I did when I was a little boy and crying myself to sleep, thinking when I die I'm going to go to hell and the devil's going to be poking me with a pitchfork and I'm going to be burning and his evil minions around helping him. That's the scariest thought a child could think of, I think. But this is what Creator says. Those crazy false teachings given to us by the spirit meddlers themselves that have implanted that in our head repeatedly throughout the, or whispered in our mind or whatever. So now we get on lost soul spirits, which are also in limbo. Lost soul spirits are human beings who are deceased and have lost their way upon passing, ghosts, and may not understand they are even dead, or were very negatively minded thinking in their life or upon their death. They're deprived individuals who were not in divine alignment when they passed and were unable to see the light callers that were standing right in front of them to be guided back to the heaven. So they have become lost, literally, and trapped in the lower astral realm of limbo. And this is why and where 1 in 3 people end up upon death as lost soul spirits in limbo. Lost soul spirits have the ability to attach themselves to people, animals, and locations as well as the spirit meddlers. Crazy, right? Though when one becomes attached to a location by a violent or sudden death, they usually do not understand what happened to them and then may haunt that location until rescued. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel, literally, for all this stuff, okay? And we're going to get to that. This isn't all just doom and gloom, what I'm sharing. You'll see at the end here. Thank God for that. Lost soul spirits may learn to use established portals and tunnels that run throughout the lower astral realm in limbo, throughout limbo, and are then able to travel to other locations. Now, I have not found the information on the Get Wisdom website or heard Creator discuss that explaining this in great detail. There may very well be, but I haven't found it yet. I haven't been looking. I mean, there's so many things, as you can see, to learn about and things that you find interesting and fascinating. This is obviously on my list, and it may very well be there. I don't know yet. So I can't tell you about that. But I do know that they do exist, and that that the lost soul spirits and entities and spirit attachment, and spirit meddlers are utilizing these portals and tunnels, at least on occasion, to go to and from different locations around the earth, in the limbo, but again, it's still attached to the earth, okay, in the physical, but not in the physical. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. I know it sounds confusing, but I think you know what I mean. A common way for lost soul spirits to attach themselves to living human beings is by way of a karmic tie or courting, which I will briefly discuss in the next section. What are courtings? A courting, Creator tells us, a courting is like an invisible glowing thin light that connects living human beings or the deceased to another via the courting connection. Anytime you meet, interact, or spend a brief length of time with someone, a courting is established automatically. Always happens automatically. A courting may disconnect and or disintegrate permanently when two people in passing no longer reconnect in their meetings again in life, or has been purposely severed via positive or negative reasons. Okay, a courting may be a positive one. You have with your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, or for example, a negative courting you may acquire connection is with a despised work colleague, a criminal attacking someone, like a rape or a murder, a rape or some crime. Someone attacked you, robbed from you. You will create a courting with them, etc. Whether you like it or not, you're going to get a courting. You will be courted to them, depending on the interactions between the two people that are courted to each other. Courtings, along with karmic ties, can be the reason why people reconnect with one another again after not seeing or hearing from each other over long periods of time, as the courting will still remain, and why you may feel a connection with that person, either good, positive, bad, or negative. Now, I would love to get into more of this about cords, but just keep in mind, anytime you meet someone, you go to the grocery store, you go to, and you're at the checkout counter, you're speaking with that person. You may not speak with them at all. Maybe you won't get a courting. I'm not saying don't speak to people. You'll be safe, free from getting courtings with them. But no, when you interact with an individual, whether you're at a restaurant and you meet the bartender, you meet the what do you call it? I can't think of the word. Why can't I think of this goofy word? The waitress or the waiter. When anything like this, you're going to stay at a hotel. You come to apply or you're going to fill out the information at the hotel desk. The people carrying your bags up to your hotel room. You will receive, from my understanding, though Karl Mollison may say differently, my understanding is a courting connects with everyone in your life you interact with, whether good or bad, and or come just what may seem to you by chance. It's not by chance, okay? And it could be that if it's a negative karmic tie, courting you receive with someone that you didn't want to happen, like walking by a dark alley at night and then someone jumps out at you, robs you, beats you, rapes you, whatever, and then runs off and gets away with it, or doesn't get away with it, and then you end up taking them they getting arrested and then spending many years or their life in prison, and you still have to go through that trauma. And if you keep that in mind, that you were the victim, and this is another thing how courtings can work, can remain intact, and you still think, oh, I hate that person, I wish they were dead, or that son of a gun did this to me, or whatever. If you keep those negative thoughts in your head, that negative courting can and very well remain still intact the rest of your life. The only way to sever them in a positive manner is by praying to God, asking to have any negative cords removed. Once you understand, Creator will help you with these things. And you have to learn about them, okay? We're going to get into a little bit more of that later. But let's continue. Spirit attachments, okay? Spirit attachments in people, companion animals. That's right. Your loving pets can also get attached by spirits. And locations. Well, that's obvious. What are ghosts when people go to haunted houses? Those are spirit attachments that are attached to that location. Whether they by choice or by accident, or, well, I don't think it's accident, or by on purpose that they choose to be there, they are attached to that location. Spirit attachments can and do attach themselves to any people, companion animal, pets, or location. Spirit attachments occur in people when a person's aura, frequency, energetics are low enough to allow spirit entities, to attach to their chakras. Usually one spirit per one chakra point. So we have, 8 chakras in our body? And the chakras are a point, you can see this in spiritual teachings. You'll see some very beautiful artwork that people have done, that yogis have, drawn pictures or whatever. Spiritual leaders and masters have talked about this at great length about the chakras in the body. If you get books on meditation, they may touch about the chakra points on the body, the various chakra points. And apparently they are absolutely real, according to Creator. This is real teachings, and that is how the spirit attachments get into you. Through your weakened, low aura, frequency, energetics, anger, hatred, whatever, continued, very emotional energy about you, they can and will attach to you. And it's through the chakra, my understanding, that it begins, and then maybe they can work their way around different parts of your body and cause all kinds of havoc. Okay? We got a lot of crazy stuff going on that we are just learning about today, that no one's ever really fully understood until now, until Creator, thank God, has come out and told us these things, because we finally found a way through Karl Mollison how to ask how these things happen. So that allow the spirit entities to attach to their chakras, usually one spirit per chakra point, and once attached can receive a free ride influx of divine realm energy of the living or dead person. Because when people die and are trapped in limbo, well, guess what? They are a target for the spirit meddlers too, because they have a light source emitting from them, whether they are at their lowest energy and point, they committed suicide, they harmed others, did so naughty things in their lives, and whatever, and after they die, they still feel, I'm evil, whatever. They still can be attacked and drawn on the energy by the spirit meddlers and spirit attachments, because they still have a portion of them, their soul, not their portion, their soul was made in heaven and still retains that light energy. Not as brightly lit, from my understanding, as the living. Living are much more energetic, but they can still get it from dead as well, and it happens every day, going on all the time. Spirit attachments are the spirit meddlers, lost soul spirits, hybrid spirit, lost soul spirits, etc. Spirit attachments continued. Spirit attachments occur in locations when the person in spirit form died suddenly, died violently, was a suicide, or was not in a good, positive, loving mentality, not in divine alignment. Again, my favorite word. Being in divine alignment is my favorite word. Divine alignment. At the time of death, and became attached to the place of death, possibly indefinitely, or until that spirit is removed or rescued by a living human being who knows how to properly and safely remove them and return them to God's holy light for cleansing and rehabilitation. And guess what? Thank God. He's, through Karl Mollison and Creator, have developed a system of how to do just that very thing. We're going to get into it. That's the light at the end of the tunnel, literally. Spirit attachments occur in companion animals as well when they become friendly with the pet and then receive an invitation by the animal to then enter them, to be carried along through their life. It can be lifelong until the animal's death, in adding the spirit as a part of themselves, to receive a constant flow of energy from the animal while in the living. I would love to go into this in great detail, but anybody who loves animals and wants to know more about this, please ask me later, and I will be happy to sit down with you and explain all this, or you can learn it yourself on the GetWisdom.com website. Creator goes into very great details about all this stuff. Very fascinating, but yes, your pets. And it could be their health issue. If your pet has some health problems, if it has a lump on its body, I'm not saying, please understand, I'm not a veterinarian, okay? Any vet will totally say this is nuts, don't even think of that, and that's fine. But according to what Creator's saying here, your companion animals, with all of their health issues, their problems, it may very well be they have a spirit attachment on board. And why do they have a spirit attachment on board? Because Creator has told us that dogs and cats, specifically dogs, see the living and the dead equally. They don't see, they are not invisible to dogs and cats, especially dogs. Dogs see dead. So if you see your dog staring out into space, maybe barking at nothing or whatever, it very well may be telling you, warning you, there's a spirit attachment right there. I see that perpetrator trying to get in the house or in the property or walking down the street or in the park or in the bedroom, whatever. I'm not trying to scare the heck out of you, but this is reality according to what Creator is telling us. So be aware of that. And they can be removed and prevented, and protect your companion, loving companion animals as well. Thank God. So, is there any way we can safely remove and rid ourselves from these attached spirits? Absolutely. Thankfully, God Creator has shared with us that currently there are only 3, this is my memory saying, 3 main surefire methods for safely removing any and all spirit attachments, spirit meddlers, lost soul spirits, and more. And there's a lot more different things out there. From living human beings, as well as from those that have died and become trapped in limbo, which will be explained shortly. So there's good news. Why does God Creator tell us about who made us and why? This was like, wow, amazing. Here we go. We are, according to Creator, 100% created soul-based beings, made entirely by God Himself. So Creator says we did not evolve from what is being believed by the some of the a lot of the scientific community today, that we evolved. And if what Creator is telling us is true here, then guess what? All the history books are going to have to be changed. All the museums, exhibits, everything. And do you think those in those positions of power and are going to want that to happen? Don't think so. You know, you promote something for so long, whether it's true or not, eventually you will probably come to believe it. Or you will wish others to believe it because you believe it, and though it might not be real, it might not be true. So that's the wonderful thing about what we're learning now. Anything you want to know, just go ask Creator. Talk to Him in your head. Ask God, show me the way, show me the light, give me the truth. I really want to know that. I want this question answered. Please help me to find a way to figure this out. Or you can check it yourself through GetWisdom.com. Okay, not saying or. There's many other ways, of course. I'm just saying this is one of them, and it's so easy. All you got to do is punch in what you want to know, and you may get an answer in a few days, a few weeks, if Karl Mollison has time or finds it of interest to, or you can hire him to do that as well, and he will be happy to help you, which is a wonderful thing. He's done for me. We hired, me and my wife hired Karl to help clear our home in the UK, because we did live in a haunted house, and it is no longer haunted. Thank God. And we've seen this ourselves, and it's absolutely amazing. And Creator blessed us as well in the home, and removed anything negative and harmful that was, if anything negative and harmful was within us. I believe I did have a spirit on board, at least sometimes in my life, or could have been the whole time. I don't know. But anyway, I think, as Creator says, 86% of us have them. So, what do you think? You're the few percent that doesn't? Maybe, maybe not. Think about all the things you've ever done in your life, the way you think, the way you act, the way you treat people, the way you do things, and then you will start to think back, like how I did. I start to think back, wow, that had to be a spirit meddler on board, because I don't know what I was thinking, why the heck I did that. That was crazy. I did a lot of stupid things when I was in my teens. I absolutely believe I had spirit meddlers on board inside me, attached to my chakra, putting these thoughts in my head to do that. Did I hear physical voices say, do this, do this, do this? No, I don't think I recall ever hearing something evil or wicked putting in my head. But this is the thing about the spirit meddlers. They've learned through the ages because they've been around from the beginning. So they know everything we think. They know what makes humans angry, upset, and they will pit people who love each other. If they get inside of you, they will pit each other against one another. And the spirit meddler in the wife or the boyfriend or the work colleague or whatever the situation is will be speaking with the other because they can speak. My understanding, according to Creator, the spirit meddlers can speak with each other in proximity, attached to people, living or dead, and they can cause then those two people or more, or a riot, whatever, huge groups of people, they can cause them all together to bicker, fight, argue, and over the stupidest, silliest things sometimes, okay? And other times, very serious subjects. But according to Creator, the majority of this is implemented from the spirit meddlers inside those individuals, 86% of them, okay? So now it's going to start to get you thinking like how it's done me for months now. Well, no, past year, I would say I've really been thinking about it. But definitely months, on a daily basis, thinking about it before I go to bed, something about it like, wow, this is just amazing information. And I thank God He's sharing this with us. Because even though if this is true, okay, I'm saying I believe it to be true. You don't have to believe it is true, and that's fine. I'm not saying you have to. But what I'm saying is I'm happy with this knowledge, and I feel grateful to know the truth. And if the truth hurts, which we all know can at some times, and if this is the truth that hurts, then so be it. I accept it. So, Creator says we are 100% created by God Himself. Everything within the Milky Way galaxy is His creation. Every planet, every star, every living thing, plant, animal, fish, insect, being, etc., etc., everything, in all caps. Everything Creator says He made. The current iteration, this is a mind blower, the current iteration of human being on the planet Earth, physical Earth plane itself, was created over 125,000 years ago. So what does that mean? We've only been on Earth, the current iteration of human being, everyone here on Earth has only been here on this planet about 125,000 years. Okay? So we've been reincarnating over and over and over and over, a maximum of around 125,000 years according to Creator. So not earlier than that, but a Creator says we are the current iteration. So we're going to learn there was another before us, and there were other things before us. Anyway, we're not going to get into that. So that's in part 2. But anyway, we were created, Creator says, by God Creator, essentially for one main sole purpose, our mission in life. And once that mission is complete, shall be rewarded accordingly with the divine gift of ascension. So let's get into this now, what we're going to be talking more about, which also leads us to why we were created, to complete our special mission. A task far from easy, though God Creator says is very possible if enough living human beings partner with the divine in working together to achieve our goal. Doesn't everybody want to know why they're here? What is my personal mission in life? Well, guess what? Creator shares it with us. What's that mission? And why? And what is most important in our lives? What is most important in our lives? To solve the problem of evil. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah. That's it. That is the reason why we are here. According to Creator, this is our mission in life, to solve the problem of evil. No big task, right? Just take a look outside in the average city, walking around, in the slums or the bad section of town. No big deal. We can solve that problem of evil, right? Okay. Well, this is our mission. According to Creator, we are to solve the problem of evil. So, is this even possible? What? How? What? Why? When? Well, we're learning about it, aren't we? At least now you know what the mission is, according to Creator. What is required for us to complete our mission in life to solve the problem of evil? The burden, responsibility, obligation is on us to keep working on our mission each lifetime. That's why we keep coming back down. That's why we keep coming back down. According to Creator, we keep reincarnating voluntarily to come back down on earth, to have another go at, we volunteer to enter into the physical plane of earth until we complete our mission. As it is only here on earth, in the physical, that our mission can be completed. You can't do it in heaven. We can't do that mission in light being form. We can't do that in limbo. We can't do it when we're dead. Creator says to solve the problem of evil, it's got to be done here on earth in the physical right now. This has become a human challenge to solve. That can only be achieved if we first choose to do it. And then do the following. 1, believe. You must believe in the divine. You must believe in God. You must believe in the divine. Or what's the point of working on the mission? Okay? You must believe in the divine, which, incidentally, the majority of us have forgotten upon reincarnation, right? We're babies. We don't remember this. We're not getting back to it and going, oh yeah, I remember. I was this bodyguard in the previous life, and now I'm working for God, and yeah, I got to continue. No, we're not. We don't remember. Number 1, believe in the divine, and to do our very best to solve the problem of evil. Number 2, to not add to the problem of evil by maintaining the path of goodness in life through divine alignment. So we have to, according to Creator, well, we don't have to do anything. You could sit around and just do nothing at home, watch TV the rest of your life until you die, and do nothing, not work on anything in life, okay? We have that right. Creator has given us that ability to choose. And what will He do about it? Is He going to strike us down with lightning? According to my grandfather used to tell me the stories about, the old Latvian Vetspops told me the stories about the thunder god in Latvia. Used to strike down if you did something nasty or evil or naughty. And so you didn't want to upset the thunder god and all these things. Of course, Thor, the ancient Norse deity, we learned about these things from history and, our stories and fables and, fairy tales. But according to Creator, we are to not add to this problem and maintain this path of goodness in life. Because if we add to the evil, we're not going to be in divine alignment. We're not going to be able to solve the problem of evil if we join the forces with evil, or borderline, or not at all, or do nothing. If we sit on the fence, we don't do anything to get this problem solved, then guess what? We die, we go back to heaven, we get another try and say, oh, well, I don't want to come back down. I can't do it anymore. I've tried, so many times, whatever. Anyway, that is our goal. That is our mission in life. That's what we are trying to do. And number 3, to work on forgiveness. This, I will say, is the hardest one for me. And the healing of ourselves, our loved ones, and others to accomplish our goal. So, the hardest thing for me when I was a bodyguard, when I was on duty and seeing crazy stuff happen, when I had to read about all this stuff, because you have to learn to think like the criminal mind to understand what your client or your team or yourself or your loved ones could potentially encounter, and how to counter that, how to defend against that attack, whatever. We had to learn these things. So the one thing they don't teach you is about forgiveness. So this was always fascinating to me, and I never could get it. Only now am I starting to forgive. I mean, not now. Okay, I've been forgiving off and on my whole life, but now I really get the big picture, I believe, and I'm doing my best to forgive all my past perpetrators, those who have harmed me, and I am no longer a victim of those. I've let them go. I've gotten them off my shoulders. That weight is gone, and I feel for you if you've had anything where anybody's ever betrayed your trust in life, if they've cheated on you, if they've harmed you, if they've hurt you, if they've almost killed you, if they've robbed from you, whatever. If they've talked negatively and evil or wicked behind your back and smile to your face, like everything's fine, but then you find out later how wicked this person was against you. Anyway, the list goes on. Creator says we must learn to forgive. We have to forgive people. What does the famous Our Father prayer say? Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. This wasn't put there as something that rhymed or sounded cool back in 2,000 years ago. This was put in there in the Bible, in the teachings, for a reason. Because this is, as Creator says, these things were whistleblowing documents, are whistleblowing documents, trying to relay to us what really happened in most cases and the truth. And a lot of it has been misunderstood, including me. I've become, a chaplain. I'm still in training, but I have trouble in biblical in Bible passages. I don't have it memorized. I look on TV and I'll see like some pastor or YouTube or read in a book. These people are amazing. They have photographic memories. They can remember every verse and everything in the scriptures of their particular belief and religion. I don't have that gift. I don't. And bless them who do. I think that's great. And I believe you probably received that. Maybe you were healers in past lives for many, many, many lives. Maybe all your lives you were a healer. And this is just continuing down in this current life. But in reincarnation. But anyway, so I could just ramble on and on. But what I wanted to say is forgiveness has been the hardest thing for me, and I think is for most people, to forgive. And I can say, and before I continue on, I will say there were many times that's why when I heard about this forgiveness, it clicked in my head, oh, wait a minute. Many times have I heard in the past a woman was raped. A family had everybody murdered except the children were all murdered, the mother and father. They had everything stolen from them. Every kind of crazy situation you could think of. And in court, or they were put on TV and they were asked, how do you feel? What, how can this, you be so calm or even not, but how do you feel about this? Well, of course, they're going to feel angry, hatred and everything. But some of these people have said, I forgive them for what they have done. And what does that do? Sorry, I'm just thinking about what Jesus, what we read in the Bible that Jesus did when when he was persecuted, when he was whipped, beaten, and chastised, and had rocks thrown at him in the streets, and all the people, the Romans, everybody was hating him, and saying you idiot, and all these crazy things that they were doing against him, and making him try to feel like the worst person on the planet, and that he should just go and die, and whatever. And I'm not quoting here, but you know what I mean. Basically, what happened, and remembering from childhood and what I've read, and the stories in the Bible. And Jesus was strung up on the cross, or the stake, whatever you believe it was, or the letter T, or whatever it was, the cross. And what did he say to God after all those things happened to him? And the crown of thorns as his head is bleeding. You can imagine the pain and the suffering he's going through, and the everything. What did Jesus, what are we told that Jesus said? He looked up to heaven and said to his Father God, the Creator, he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And Jesus did that. And that was so lovely that he did that. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God. And I believe he did that because he knew it was the right thing to do, and he didn't bring any karma to him. He all that negative karma was released. That he, and courtings, all the negative courtings that he got with those individuals, they were gone. All those things removed from him. That heavy weight, that burden of that son of a gun who did that to me. I'll get that Roman, or I'll get that woman who threw that rock at my head, or whatever. No, Jesus said, God, Father, please forgive them, for they know not what they do. So I love that. That's absolutely beautiful, and I try to do that each and every day, and forgive those who try to harm me or others, or loved ones, or those I don't even know that I see are in pain and suffering. I ask for their forgiveness and suffering, and that they can have their burdens released from them as well. And I believe if you can do this, then you will be returned in helping to solve the problem of evil with God. And if everybody did this forgiveness around the world today, there wouldn't be any more evil. Okay? Now we know that's not exactly, it doesn't seem possible in the way I just said that, but we'll see. What does God Creator say? Let's continue. Sorry I spent so much time here. The history of man and ascension shared by God Creator. There have been 4 previous attempts of divine living beings. Notice what is said here. I had this put here for a reason. Divine living beings. Now, I'm not saying, I wrote this from my understandings of what I've learned from Karl Mollison and GetWisdom.com, as well as from everything that I have learned from God Creator being channeled through Karl. And this is my understanding of what it is. Go and look it up yourself. But this is my understanding, that there have been 4 previous attempts of divine living beings. That doesn't necessarily mean that they were human. Hint, hint. There have been 4 previous attempts of divine living beings to complete their mission for Creator and the Milky Way galaxy, the sandbox of Creator. all of which who have failed. We as man, divine humans, are the second iteration, Creator tells us, of human beings to attempt to solve the problem of evil. And currently, we have been told we are very close to achieving our goal. Creator says that we're very close. No one has done it before. 4 other attempts at Creator's creations have tried and failed. And the first iteration of human being, according to Creator, before 125,000 years ago, tried and failed. But Creator says now, we are very close to achieving our goal. Wow. In approximately 4 billion years, okay, all previous attempts by divine beings have failed their mission. And only the current iteration, creation, us, by God, are now so close in achieving ours. If we, divine humans, are successful this time around, finally, we will then have approximately, Creator says, 2 generations according to this, which is approximately 40 years, remaining to complete all further required healing to be given the gift opportunity of ascension. Wow. Creator tells us this. And Creator even says further that currently, he says now, at this juncture in time, in 2023, we are so close to achieving the goal, and I envision it like 2 people, I envision it like me and the rest of the world, or me and the evil entities, or man as one individual being on a track, a running race, and they're running as fast as they can. And directly behind them is the spirit meddlers and all the other problems, bad karma, limbo, everything is following just right behind that person. But that person in front, that divine human being, the second iteration, us, living today, all of us human beings living today on earth, we are ahead of all of that and solving the problem of evil. And if we can do that, then Creator says in about 40 years, and he actually now says currently it's about 20 to 40 years. So that means 1 to 2 generations. If we solve the problem of evil, we will be able to complete the healing of the rest of the world within 20 to 40 years. And then we'll be gifted in our lifetimes ascension. In 40 years, I'll be 95. And in 20 years, I'm going to still be looking pretty good, I think, feeling pretty good. So I hope, me personally talking here about myself, I hope that we can do it in the 2 generations. So I'm going as fast as not as fast. I'm doing as much as I can to help make this happen, to do my part. To do my part in what I understand is my mission that I accept, and I have taken on that burden to help solve the problem of evil. And Creator says, back there I said, again, in approximately 4 billion years, all previous attempts of divine beings have failed. So what does that tell you? That 4 billion years ago, Creator started making divine living beings. You know, you put these hints together. It's wonderful. I love it. It's like a puzzle, you know. Creator doesn't exactly say certain things out, but then when you say, oh, well, he said this, then that would mean this, right? I mean, for the most part, that's how we put it together. And I'm not just saying this. Karl Mollison is saying this, GetWisdom and Creator. But because people ask specific questions, and then Creator will tell you. If you don't ask specific questions, if you don't ask details, Creator is only going to give you what you ask. So that's a hint how to learn to at effective empowered prayer. Let's continue. The history of man and ascension continued. Ascension will then be granted to each individual who so chooses it, because we're a free will zone. You don't have to get it. You don't have to choose it if you don't want to, but you can when it's offered. If it is not chosen, those individuals will remain on earth and then live out the rest of their human lives, as it is our free will choice decision to make that decision. If ascension is chosen, then the same process of leaving the earth or similar as when Jesus Christ ascended will occur. During the process of ascension, Creator, this is asked, a lot of people want to know what this is about, and Creator has explained to us and said that during the process of ascension, we drop our body without pain or suffering and become a unique kind of light being. Now, I use this term, unique light being. Creator has not stated that. Karl, I don't believe, has ever stated that. It's referred to, but similar meaning, okay? I say that. But this is what Creator has basically said. We become like a unique light being, entering a kind of adjacent heavenly realm, if we choose, that you become the co-creator of your own sandbox. Oh my gosh, oh, sorry. I'm getting too excited. So, when we ascend, there is no suffering, no pain. We then become other than a light being that we originally were in the light since we were created by God, if you believe that from what Creator tells us here. And we have the opportunity then to enter an adjacent realm. Does that mean an adjacent galaxy? Maybe. An adjacent sandbox? To become our own co-creator, our own God of our own sandbox. You can then choose to work with Creator in His heavenly realm, which we are currently here in, or co-create as you choose in your own galaxy domain sandbox, to do entirely as you wish, as you choose, either with others, loved ones, soul family, etc., or by yourself. That is for you to decide, though always in divine alignment, so as not to trigger a new karmic tie in your new ascended body, ascended light being form. There is so much I can go over right now, so much I can add to this, but I'm not. I want to get through this hopefully in a timely manner, and so I'm trying that. So I will just leave it there. But that is like a takeaway. Wow. If this is true, that's incredible.